Hey everyone, in this video we are going to create a really simple augmented reality shooting game using Apple's ARKit framework. This is how the app looks like. I'll be using Unity 2018.2 and Xcode 10 to build this application. And make sure that you have updated your iOS device with iOS 12. Now first of all, let's download the bottle model. Go to turbosquid.com and type in Coke. We need a free model, so go to Price and select Free. We need this one right here, so just download this. We need to download these two files. One is FBX and one is Maps. Open Unity. Create a new project. I will name this AR Shooting Game. If you want the same layout as mine, go to Window, Layouts, and select 2x3 layouts, and you'll get this arrangement. Now let's download the ARKit plugin for augmented reality. Go to Window, General, Asset Store. You can drag it and stack it anywhere you want. In the search bar, type ARKit. Open the first one and click on Download, and after it's downloaded, click on Import. Since we are going to build an iOS app, go to File, Build Settings, click on iOS and switch platform. Now let's import the model that we downloaded from TurboSquid. Now go to Unity ARKit plugin folder, Examples, Unity ARKit Scene, and double-click to open. Drag this model into the hierarchy, double-click to zoom, and as you can see, we have a can and we have a bottle. We just need a bottle for this video, so let's just take the bottle and delete the rest. Just drag it outside like this and delete this. Now as you can see, this bottle doesn't look that great, so let's add some materials to it. Create a folder and name this materials. First let's create the material for this Coca-Cola tag and this cap. We already have images for that inside the maps folder that we imported. This one is the image for the cap and this one for the tag. So let's create materials for these two first. Go to Materials, right click, Create, Material, Cap. Go to Shader, Legacy Shader, Diffuse, select and select the image of the bottle cap. Now create another material, right click, Create, Material, Tag. Standard, Legacy Shaders, Diffuse, select the image, so we have these two materials, one for the cap and one for the tag. Now let's create two more materials, one for the liquid inside and one for the glass bottle. Now let's assign these materials to the bottle. Click on the bottle, drop down the materials tab, drag this cap on the 0th element, drag the tag in the 4th element, and drag the cola in place of cola, and drag the glass in place of glass. Now the label and the cap are fine, but we still need to fix the cola and the glass body. So first let's fix the glass body. Go to glass, click on the glass material, and let's make this transparent. Go here, click on transparent, and then click on this color, decrease the alpha value from here, and change the color to black. Go to cola and change the color to black. Now you can see the bottle looks much better. Now let's create a plain object so that we can keep the bottle on something. Right click, 3D object, plane. Reset it from here, right click, reset, and change the dimensions to, let's say, 0.1, 0.1, and 0.1. And also increase the size of this Coke bottle. It's really small right now. So let's make it 1.3, 1.3, and 1.3. And change the name of this Coke bottle. Press enter and just name this bottle or anything you want. And now we have to add two properties to this Coke bottle. So make sure that the bottle is selected, add component, and just type in box collider. Add one more component and just type in Rigidbody. The Rigidbody component is added so that we can give this Coke bottle gravity, so that if the bottles are stacked one on top of another and we shoot the bottle at the bottom, then all the other bottles that are at the top should fall down. That's why we need the Rigidbody. We need the box collider so that the bottle does not pass through the plane and fall into nothing. And we also need box collider for detecting the bullets when we shoot them. And this green box that you see is the box collider. And now let's duplicate this bottle to get some more bottles. Select the bottle and press Command D to duplicate, and just drag this on the side. Once again, and two more times. Adjust these so that they are properly stacked. And once you are done, to check it if they are properly stacked or not, press play. Yeah, so they are properly stacked. So if we say deactivate this bottle by unchecking this, this bottle will fall off. And if we deactivate this will fall as well. It's working perfectly. And now just press this again. So it's properly stacked as we wanted. And there are a couple of game objects that we don't need. One is the random cube. Uncheck this. One is the generate planes. Uncheck this as well. And point cloud particle example. Change the name of all the bottles as bottle. Just make sure that the name of all the bottles is same, and you will know that why later on. And now just put them all together in a single game object. Right click, create empty, and name this setup. Select all the game objects. By selecting one on the top, press shift and keep pressing the down arrow key button, and drag this on top of this. So it's a single game object now. But there's one small issue with this setup, and that is the origin of this setup is somewhat here. I don't know if you're able to see or not. So it's basically halfway. We want the origin at the bottom so that when we place the setup on the horizontal floor, the origin just touches the horizontal floor. So if the origin is in the halfway, then half the stuff will be kept below the horizontal plane and half above it. So we need to make sure that we shift the origin at the bottom and in the center. To do that, it's really simple. Just create another game object, and that should be a really large cube. Reset this first and just give this dimensions as 10, 10 and 10 on all sides. Uncheck the mesh renderer and box collider, and if you click on the cube, you can see that the origin is at the bottom and almost in the center. And we can name this cube as parent and drag this setup on this parent. Now if we click on the parent, we have the origin at the correct place. Just deactivate this hit cube parent as well, as we don't need this. Click on parent, add component, and we'll add a script known as AR hit test example script. Press enter, and this script basically allows us to tap on the horizontal plane and keep the object on it. In this case, the object is the parent, this whole setup. For the hit transform, just drag it right here. When we place this setup on the horizontal table, we don't want to see this white plane, so we'll just make this transparent. So go to the search bar here and type in shadow, and just take this shadow plane material. This is a transparent material, and just drag this on the plane object, and it's gone. And now as our setup is complete, let's create the shooting part. For that, we need a shooting button and we need a crosshair so that we know where we are shooting. So let's download the images for that first. White crosshair PNG. Go to this website flat icon. This is the best website for downloading PNG images. I'll take this crosshair, and I think you need to log in to edit this. I'm already logged in. I'll just click on edit icon, and it is black. We need a white one or any color you want. Just put in the color code. I need the white one, so I'll just put in the color code for white, which is 6 times F. Press download PNG 512. And now we need a shoot button. Just type in shoot button PNG and choose any button you want. I'll just take this one. And now just drag the two images that we just downloaded, the shoot button image and the crosshair image. Click on the image and drag this to maximum because we want the maximum quality image. Do the same with this one and hit apply. Now let's create the materials for this one and this one. Go to materials, right click, material, diffuse, go here again, go to UI and default. And now right click and create a canvas. Go to the settings of this canvas and change from constant pixel size to scale with screen size. Right click on the canvas and create a button. This will be the shoot button. Delete the text from here and let's name this shoot button and change the width and the height of this shoot button as an equal value. Let's say 80. Select the source image and make it none. Select the material that we just created for the shoot button. And let's just position this button at the bottom right corner. And change the anchors to bottom right as well. Now shoot button is fine. We have to create an image for the crosshair. Just go to canvas again, right click, UI, image, and select the material as crosshair. It's too big right now. Let's change the dimensions, width and the height as 60. This looks fine. And just name this as crosshair. And make sure that the crosshair should be at the center of the screen. So position X and position Y should be 0 each. We need two more assets for this game. One is the explosion asset, which will cause an explosion effect when we shoot the bottle, and the second one is the glass breaking sound. So for the explosion effect, just go to asset store and just type here war effects. This one. This is free and we'll just download this. Click on download, and after it's downloaded, click on import. So once it's imported, go to assets, JMO assets. This is the folder that was imported. Go to war effects, explosions, and we need the fourth one. Let's just drag this in the hierarchy. Double click to focus, and if you press restart, you can see the explosion. But as you can see, the explosion is quite huge as compared to the bottles which are down here below. So let's make this explosion a little bit small. So just give the dimensions as 0.1, 0.1 and 0.1. And just name this explosion as explosion to keep it simple. And now, as I told you, when the explosion occurs, there should be a glass breaking sound. So we need to add an audio source to this explosion. So just go to the inspector window and click on add component and just type in audio source. We need to provide an MP3 audio clip right here. So we are going to import that MP3 audio clip inside our project right now. So I'll just drag this audio clip inside my project, and I will give a download link to this audio in the description below, so you can just download it from there. And now we have this sound clip inside our project. Just drag this right here. We don't need this explosion active inside our scene for the whole time. We just need this explosion when we press the shoot button. So what we are going to do is, we are going to create a prefab of this explosion, and we are going to delete it from here, and then we are going to instantiate the explosion whenever we press the shoot button. So right click here, create folder, name this explosion, and just drag this explosion game object right here. And we can safely delete it now. And now let's create the script to shoot the bottles. So I'll just create the script on this camera parent, add component, shooting script. Double click to open. First, let's create two public variables. One for the explosion game object that we are going to instantiate, and second for the camera. Let's name this game camera. So before writing the code, let me explain you what's going to happen. As soon as we press this shoot button, an invisible ray will be casted into the real world. This invisible ray will originate from the camera. So as this ray is casted into the real world, it can hit any object. And so if it hits any one of our bottles it will destroy the bottle and it will create an explosion effect on that bottle. So once again, when we click the shoot button, an invisible ray will be casted from the phone's camera, and that ray will be casted into the real world, and it can hit any object. So if that ray hits any of the bottle objects, it will destroy that particular bottle object, and it will create an explosion effect on that bottle. Now let's write the code for what I just explained you. So when we click the shoot button, a function will be called. So let's create that function. Create a variable raycast. The ray that is casted in the real world will be stored inside this variable. Physics dot raycast game camera dot transform dot position. I'll just explain this code in a second. Game camera dot transform dot forward. So if we are able to cast the ray, we'll check. If hit dot transform dot name equals to bottle, we will destroy hit dot transform dot game object. And we'll instantiate an explosion on that game object. So let me explain you what I just did here. We need to raycast a ray into the real world. So we are calling this raycast function, and this raycast function has three parameters. First parameter represents where that raycast is originating from. So it's originating from the camera. So we wrote game camera dot transform dot position. The second parameter is what is the direction of that raycast. So the direction of the raycast, it's in the forward direction. So I wrote game camera dot transform dot forward. And the third parameter stores the raycast in the hit variable that we created here. So when the raycast is originated, it will hit somewhere, and wherever the raycast got hit, the name of that object, if that is equal to the bottle. So if we go here, we have this bottle. So if the ray hits a game object and the name of that game object is bottle, that's what it is saying here. Then we'll destroy that game object, in this case the bottle, and we'll instantiate an explosion, and that explosion will be produced at the point where the raycast hit that object, and the explosion will be normal to the surface, that is at 90 degrees. And all this will be executed when we press the shoot button. So let's link the shoot button to this function, and let's assign these variables in the editor. So just press Command S to save, go to editor and link the shoot button to the shoot function. Drag this camera parent right here, choose the function as shoot, and go to the camera parent, as that is where the script is assigned, and let's just give value to these variables. Drag this explosion game object right here and drop this camera parent down, and drag this main parent into the game camera. And now we are done. We just need to fix a small issue before running this application. So here's the issue. Once we scan the horizontal floor and we tap on the horizontal floor, this setup is placed on that horizontal floor. What happens When we press this shoot button, the touch that we do on this button passes through the button and hits the screen. So that results in displacing this setup to somewhere else. So to fix that issue, just go to Parent, double click on Unity ARKit hit test example script, and I'm just going to copy a function here. You don't need to go into the details of this function. I'll just add this function in the comment section or in the description, and you can copy it from there. So for this function to work, we have to import a package. So just type in using Unity engine event systems. Copy this function ampersand exclamation mark this. This will fix the issue that I was talking about. And now you can just drag this parent somewhere above so that as soon as we open the scene, we do not see this, and only when we touch on the horizontal plane, this gets spawned where we touch. Now let's build the app. Check this first one which says Unity ARKit scene. Go to player settings. First of all, just go to resolution and presentation and make this as landscape only. So just uncheck the portrait once. Go to other settings and change the target minimum iOS version to 11.4 or 12, whatever you want. And then just build the application. Choose where the build should be saved. I'm just choosing desktop. AR shooting. Now just run the build that was created using Unity. Select your theme and select your device and press play. So that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.